Connections run deep as we welcome you to the Mecca, Madison Square Garden in New York for this deciding game. And welcome everyone. Dick Stockton along with Hubie Brown and Dee Lynam is with us as well. The Knicks had a chance to wrap it up on Wednesday, missed that opportunity, but this is what the home court is all about. What must the Knicks accomplish to win tonight, Hubie?
Well, I think you go back to the 2 wins, Dick. Their shooting percentage, not only from the field, but three-point and the foul line, far surpassed the regular season. They kept the turnovers to 10 and under. They won the points in the paint and also bench production. Now, 3 guys who are scoring well in this series must continue. Allen Houston with the 22 points. How about the fact he's shooting 59% from the floor, 20 for 20 from the line, 14 attempts. They'll take that every night, and then the rebounding. Once again, Dick, the pressure on Vince Carter to carry this team with a major point production here tonight.
And the question is, can he do it again or come close to doing it again? So it'll be the Raptors and the Knicks, and from all signs, it should be a war.
It's going to be a lot of guys jittery, nervous, and panicking tonight. If I had to go with a group, this would be the group of guys that I want to line up and go to war with.
Every possession is do or die, and we have to come in with the mindset that we're going to be the aggressor.
We usually play our best when our back's up against the wall.
It's what it's all about, you know, one and done. You know, you get out there and you play your best game.
No, there's no doubt in our mind.
I'm excited about tonight. Yeah, I really am.
I'm excited about it. It's win or go home.
Start of Game 5 of this first-round series. Let's take a look at tonight's Gatorade starting lineup. Vince Carter, Charles Oakley, and Antonio Davis up front for the Raptors with Alvin Williams and Chris Childs, the ex-Knicks. Latrell Sprewell with Kurt Thomas, Marcus Camby at center, and in the backcourt, Allen Houston and Mark Jackson. Sprewell in particular shadowing Vince Carter, and he was more than outspoken in the off day yesterday. Let's send it out to Dee Lynam for more.
Well, Dick, as you know, so often the Knicks' success is predicated on their defense, and after watching the tape of Game 4, Sprewell was upset with his teammates because of their lack of defense early in the first quarter. Carter beat him off the dribble, but instead of his teammates coming to help, they stood and watched them ferociously throw it down. But then they popped in a tape from Game 1. Very similar play on one of the early possessions, only
in game number 5. Jeff Van Gundy, 3-1 in deciding games. The Knicks have won 9 straight first-round series, by the way. Lenny Wilkins knows what it's like to be a champion, but this is all uncharted waters for the Toronto Raptors. This is only their second playoff. They were wiped out in 3 straight by the Knicks last year, and he's got a pretty good record in deciding games, 11-5. The officials for Game 5, Steve Javie, Bennett Salvador, and Eddie F. Rush. And we're underway. Tip control by the Knicks.
The Camby game is the big question mark. The stamina, he definitely did not have it in the last quarter in Game 4. And then also the fact, no offensive rebounds in the last 2 games.
So they need him to come up big. Here is Camby open for the short shot, and the crowd responds.
That's how they opened up the game. Game 4 in Toronto, same move, because every time that Houston comes off of that screen, they trap him, opening up Camby on a roll.
The turnaround by Vince Carter, the rebound by Houston.
We're playing at home, Dick. Tonight, the Knicks need some second chance points and also a few easy baskets in transition.
But it's Toronto that is the transition team. Let's see if the Knicks can change that. Camby off the mark with his shot, and it just may be that the Raptors are just too strong off the boards no matter what the Knicks try. That remains to be seen. Down low to Carter, out to Davis. Oakley will fire and hit. Charles Oakley ties the score.
Well, Oak has been solid in this series. He only is averaging 6 rebounds, but he's getting double-figure points, and he's shooting a nice percentage.
Allen Houston, who has been a superhero for the Knicks offensively, guarded by Alvin Williams. A tough matchup tonight for Williams. Jackson using a Camby screen. working his way in the lane, off balance with the shot. Camby gets the offensive rebound, but his foul is called first as Oakley hits the floor, and it will be against the Knicks, and they'll call it on Camby.
All throughout this series, Vince Carter has been doing an excellent job defensively on Sprewell. Sprewell is struggling, only 37% from the floor and only 10% in threes. He's on him, and right there he denied at the other end a post-up situation.
Here's Oakley again, and hitting again. So Charles Oakley, who still says Vince Carter is what this team is all about, and he has to come through, not backing off his comments before game number 4, and nearly 2 minutes gone by. Here is Camby with a good pass to Thomas. Tied at 4.
That was excellent. Not only did they trap the dribbler, but also the rotation man came. Unselfish play by Camby.
Knicks looking for Thomas to break out of it. He had a double-double in the first 2 games as Oakley misses from the corner after hitting 2 in a row. Teams feeling each other out early on here in game number 5.
Anytime that Jackson raises his finger up, he's going to go one-on-one from the left side of the floor.
Pass thrown off the leg of Camby, so the Knicks turn it over, and that's going to be one of the particular barometers to watch tonight. 2.5 gone by, just the start of things at Madison Square Garden. Here is Childs for 3, and he hits.
Wow.
Chris Childs picking up where he left off. He was 4 for 5 from 3 in Wednesday night's game.
Yeah, he's on fire, Dick. He's shooting over 50% throughout the series, and he's playing with a great degree of confidence.
Coming back against his former team, and he loved New York. He wasn't at all happy about the trade. And there is a hacking foul on Alvin Williams on Houston, a non-shooting variety.
Childs is very dangerous in transition as he's bringing it up the floor. He's a trailer in this situation, and you can see on the mark. The Knicks have changed their defensive assignments. They have Mark Jackson on Childs now, and then also they have Houston on Alvin Williams, who has been on fire throughout the series.
Sprewell taking his first shot of the game and hitting the 3. Sprewell with his best scoring games were on the road when he hit 20 and 24 in the last 2.
Yeah, that's a good sign for the Knicks and also for Sprewell from the perimeter. Oh, good steal
by Jackson. Childs back to defend, and Mark Jackson putting the Knicks in front 9-7.
Yeah, you got to see that. The Knicks have got to get that. They need the easy points. We told you in the Toronto 2 wins, they have dominated them by over 20 points in second chance and fast break opportunities.
Here's Antonio Davis driving strong and defended by Thomas, and the foul against Kurt Thomas. And after he scored the layup following the steal, Mark Jackson with the arms upraised like a symphony conductor, urging the crowd on.
And there you just have a foul, strong foul by Thomas in a game like tonight, game 5. No layups in tonight's game. You got to expect that when you take it to the rim, you got to take it like a man because you know you're going to be pounded.
Davis missing the first free throw. He has had a terrific series and had his career high in the playoffs in the loss on Sunday with 21 points. He is a big factor for the rebounds, but he misses both from the line.
During the course of the year, the Raptors are in the bottom third of the league in foul shooting.
Here's Thomas putting the fake on Davis. No basket, and a foul before the shot. And the hip foul is called against Davis. So both starting centers have picked up 1.
But you have to honor Thomas. Thomas is averaging double figures. He's playing great. Double figures rebounding. This has been a terrific battle with Antonio Davis.
Nowhere to go with Sprewell. Carter doing a terrific job on him. Here is Camby, and the rebound by Davis. The Knicks leading 9-7, under 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Now, throughout this series, the Knicks are poor.
Carter with the jumper.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dick. Yeah, the offensive rebounding for the Knicks almost pathetic. They're only getting 7 a game. It's nice to see Vince get it going right with that first shot.
And he set the tone the other night, as D. Lynam mentioned, mostly with the slam dunk. Here is Sprewell backing in against Childs. Blocked by Davis. And here is Williams with a 3-on-2 break. And Antonio Davis missing the layup. Oakley kept it alive. And now they're going to call the offensive foul, clearly against Antonio Davis, and that'll be 2 on the Raptors center.
Yeah, right there. Now they're arguing. See, Toronto's arguing right now. They thought that they were fouled on the shot. On that drive, a great defensive play. Keep the man behind the backboard and take the charge. Now keep an eye on it right there. He thought he was pushed on the way in. And now when he goes to the basketball, that's no contest.
So as a result of the 2 early fouls, what put the Raptors in a bind, Davis going to the bench, and Keon Clark, who played only 1 minute in game number 4, enters the contest.
Yeah, this young guy's got a lot of talent. He's a high flyer. He's a shot blocker, great jumping ability, and he's quick around the basket with the ball.
Tied at 9. Houston with the fall away. And the rebound by Oakley. So 5 minutes gone by here in the first. We're tied. Carter for 3.
Oh, yeah.
And Carter feeling it here early, has hit his last 2 for 5 points, and Toronto is up by 3.
Now Sprewell's in his face, Dick. You know, it isn't like he's away from him. He's right up on both shots.
Teams are perfect so far from 3s. Here is Jackson. Loves to penetrate inside, goes after Sprewell, and he walked. Sprewell didn't have control of that pass and took steps, turning it over.
Now, if you notice in the early going, Toronto not double teaming anyone down on the post when they catch. It's when they put the ball and they head toward the paint. They're releasing from the man at the top of the circle.
Sprewell turned the ball over 6 times in Wednesday night's game. Here is Keon Clark, and a block by Camby. He stripped the ball away, and the Knicks getting it back, trailing by 3. Here is Houston. And Houston is fouled, and Oakley picking up after Williams was defending. And the foul is against Charles Oakley, his first.
At playoff time, it's not like regular season. Guys are rotating. They're going for the shot blocks. If you are going in for a layup, they're going to foul you hard and force you to make the 2 foul shots. Now, Keon Clark, he just took that one, and we tell you, he's quick. He's quick off the dribble. He's left-handed, but he took that one in soft.
Foul was on Oakley, and right now we'd like to welcome those watching in Canada on TSN. And I know that the fans in Toronto, particularly after the overtime loss to the Devils on Tuesday, and then beating the Knicks, and then beating the Devils. So they're on a roll, the fans up there.
Yes, they are.
Houston, meanwhile, a perfect 22 of 22 from the line in this series.
Well, at playoff time, he has the knack of raising his shooting percentage, 3-point shooting, and foul shooting.
Here's Alvin Williams, and Houston got a piece of that, and not only the ball, but it got a piece of Alvin Williams' hand, and is called with the foul. So we have our first break with under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Carter hitting from the left side, and then the 3.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest games.
We'd like to give you a little bit of Knick action. Right here, there was going to be a screen and roll. But what happens? The defense jumps to the top side, force Mark Jackson. They then trap Jackson right here. Camby will step out, get the basketball, and just watch as he penetrates the rotation of the Toronto defense. Now, the first man, they come up and rotate, but they do not rotate back, and they give Thomas a layup. Everyone just thinks it's the one rotator, but it's also the offside top guy that must rotate down inside.
Jeff Van Gundy asked yesterday whether he would have a short leash on Camby because he has been ineffective with obvious problems on his mind from last week's hostage terror. But he said, if anything, I'm going to play him more, not less. And you see, he did not play in game 3, 2, and 4. He struggled, and Jeff Van Gundy says, I'm going with the people who brought me here, and he said all year, Camby's his MVP.
Well, he's been consistent. A lot of people voted for him for the All-NBA first, second, third team selection because of the type of year that he had. He just wished that tonight that he can get past his demons and get a major production for himself and also the Knicks.
Allen Houston charges. So 2 fouls on Houston. Antonio Davis picked up 2 early ones and went to the bench, and so Glenn Rice is going to come in for Houston, and he's one of those players that you feel must have a good offensive showing.
Well, tonight, now what they'll do is they'll move Sprewell to the backcourt, play Rice at small forward. And the big thing is you just lost the guy who's averaging 22 points. You take out Allen Houston, and we told you he's shooting 59% from the floor. So Rice has been on fire throughout this series, and it's good to see him get the early minutes.
Latrell Sprewell holding Vince Carter, who tried to break to the outside. So 4 of the starters for the Knicks already in the foul column. 2 for Houston, none for Jackson. Here is Carter with a scoop shot. So Carter, picking up where he left off, has 7 of Toronto's 16.
He's off to a great start. I like the no hesitation on the 3, but most of all, go to the basket hard. Game 4, 14 foul shot attempts.
So he's going hard to the rim. Here is Rice at the top. They'll have to respect him. Here's Mark Jackson for 3. And Camby fighting for the offensive rebound, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Knicks, but the Knicks have to be heartened with the hustle of Camby.
Yeah, that's 2 now that he's gotten a hand on. And we all know that that is a major plus in his game. Anytime that you rotate, Camby will always go to the rim and make something happen.
Off the screen, Alvin Williams over the top, and it goes to the Knicks, who trail the Raptors by 5 with just under 5 minutes remaining in the first.
Now, Alvin Williams is a great story. He's the 2nd leading scorer throughout this series for Toronto, averaging 17 a game, shooting high percentages from the field and as well as 3.
And has always admired Allen Houston when he played at the University of Tennessee. Camby with the lay-in. So much more active as Camby, and as Jeff Van Gundy said, when he doesn't practice for a few days, it shows it.
Yeah, well, hopefully the cobwebs are gone. That was the same exact play as we diagrammed to you, but that time the pass to Camby was lower.
Here's Chris Childs dribbling out of trouble. Oakley puts the fake on Camby. Here's Keon Clark, 2 on the shot clock. Childs off the glass, and they're going to call another offensive foul. This will be against Chris Childs, and that'll be his first foul. So we have had a flurry of offensive fouls called thus far.
Well, I like the way the game is being refereed. The refs are right on top of the early action. The contact is being called. They're setting a strong tone right here this evening. You like the rotation at the Knick end of the floor, especially running at Oakley. You've got to get Oakley to put the ball on the floor.
And they have since changed the foul to Vince Carter. Thomas inside getting the basket. So Thomas has had a couple of down games scoring-wise, and he and Camby look alive.
See, they continue to send Mark Jackson to the baseline on that screen. And what's happened is it's cost them 3 baskets now. The one where Camby made the pass, one that Camby went in and laid it up, and on this run right here, once again, the extra pass, they get the layup.
And the Knicks climb to within 1. Raptors calling a timeout after the Knicks close to within 1 point, but the duel continues between Latrell Sprewell and Vince Carter.
Yeah, just watch the hand contact with Sprewell and then Carter shedding him. This is away from the action. Now remember, this goes on every single possession, and Carter has maintained that he has gotten off 22 shots a night in all 4 games. And he's getting that kind of manhandling every possession.
Carter 3 for 4 for his 7 points. Keon Clark against Thomas, the double team with Jackson. 8 on the shot clock.
Got to make the passes out of there.
Oakley going back into Clark with 4, and Keon Clark and Camby made him alter his shot from behind.
Now, that was good defense by the Knicks, and also they're forcing the young player to make the passes out of the trap.
Remember Antonio Davis on the bench with 2 fouls. Jackson off the side of the backboard. Raptors by 1 with 3:15 to go in the first quarter. Oakley from outside hits again, so Oakley has hit 3 perimeter shots, and 6 of the Raptors' first 7 field goals have been from outside.
The Raptors love to throw the ball from one side of the floor to the other, okay? They'll make that pass on you, and when that guy is out there beyond the 3 or setting up, you've got to get to him quick and force him to put it down on the floor.
They force the double team on Sprewell. Here's Rice, and he hits the 3. Glenn Rice, who is 3 for 5 in game 4, and Jeff Van Gundy's going to need all of it, ties the game at 18.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Dick, he's on fire. He's feeling it in this series. He's 6 for 10 for the series.
Here's Oakley. who has hit 3 from outside. Not that time, and the Knicks pushing it up. Sprewell can't go around Childs, who put it up and hit. Sprewell. So the Knicks showing good signs from their outside shooters, effective here in the first quarter.
Well, Sprewell is one of those streak shooters, and we all know that he can be struggling, and all of a sudden he'll go on a streak. He loves to attack in transition.
Knicks leading by 2. Keon Clark ties it up after a great pass from Childs.
Yeah, Keon Clark is quick. He has good hands. Coaching staff loves his promise.
Under 2 minutes to play, first quarter, tied at 20, and Jackson throws it away. Here's Alvin Williams. Childs driving against Jackson, leaves it for Keon Clark. Well done by the Raptors.
Yes, indeed. See, they have confidence in him. They all like him. Lenny Wilkins telling us before every game, Keon Clark will be in there because of his quickness. He's very quick, changing direction underneath, and when he catches it left-handed, he can finish for you.
And he can play defense, too, for him. 8 on the shot clock. Here's Sprewell working his way in. Sprewell gets the basket, 7 points to lead the Knicks. He is 3 for 4. Is Sprewell, so he's looking for his 3rd big offensive showing in a row. Keon Clark leaves it for Oakley. Oakley open. The offensive rebound. The big Knick problem. Keon Clark to Childs, hits the 3. So the Raptors get the 2nd shot and have broken the tie.
Well, I like what Lenny Wilkins did. He didn't like his defensive coverage on the screen and roll. He talked to them. They've come out of that timeout, and what a nice spurt. And we told you, Childs is stepping up. No hesitation at all. He is looking for that shot on the kick out, and it doesn't matter whether he's a step or like 4 to 5 feet behind the line.
So the Raptors 3 of 3 for 3-point shots. Childs has 2 of them, and driving in is Sprewell. So Sprewell is an acrobat here in the first quarter with 9 points, and the Knicks trail the Raptors by 1 with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter, and it's been a well-played quarter.
Absolutely. Sprewell had a lot to say about, the defensive rotations in that game 4, and he has come out tonight. He's making it happen.
Oakley missing now from outside after hitting early. Both teams well over 50% shooting, and they're going to call the offensive foul against the Knicks again, and let's see who gets it. It'll be Kurt Thomas with his 2nd foul. Want to remind you, tomorrow on NBC, round 2 of the playoffs begins with the Mavericks at Spurs. Yes, the Mavericks live. Coverage will begin at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Monday on TNT, game 2 of the Mavericks Spurs beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern as playoff coverage continues throughout the week on TNT Sports and TBS Sports.
At the top, we told you that the Knicks in their 2 wins kept the turnovers under 10. They already have 5 for this quarter.
Not a good sign for the Knicks, who trail by 1, practically playing for the last shot of this quarter. Shot clock virtually even as Carter inside to Keon Clark, who's fouled. So an unselfish Vince Carter finding the big man Keon Clark, and Othella Harrington, who has just come into the game for the Knicks, committing the personal.
Now just keep an eye on this play. You're going to see it was a handoff. Everyone goes to Carter. Now watch to the left of your screen. See, you got to send that down with 2 hands. None of that one-handed stuff here tonight, because they're going to get knocked. When you get knocked, you lose the potential of the 3-point play. 2-handed, you go up, you jam it through, you get fouled, you have a chance for 3.
Keon Clark misses the first free throw, so Harrington into the game for the Knicks, and Thomas picking up his 2nd, going to the bench. Thomas scored 4 points, and the Raptors are now 2 of 6 from the line here in the first quarter. Time will run out. In game 5, the winner of this game will go against the Philadelphia 76ers in the Eastern semifinals.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
Celebrities in the crowd: David Duchovny, Teo Leone, and there is Ben Stiller, who is signing an autograph as the stars come out in the first row to watch this pivotal game. And Michael J. Fox is here as well, and you know who he's rooting for. He is native Canadian, so he is rooting for the Raptors. Remember years ago when the Toronto Blue Jays were in the World Series, he He was sitting at Sky Dome, as they say, and here he is at Madison Square Garden. Underway in the second quarter. Charlie Ward is in at the point guarding Chris Childs, and Del Curry as well, the three-point shooter, and Curry throwing the ball away. And the turnover. So the Knicks get it, trailing the Raptors by 1. Rice posting up. Sprewell with Camby and Ward. And Othella Harrington. And here is Charlie Ward hitting. And Jeff Van Gundy said, look, I know the kind of competitor he is. Every time we have a big game in some fashion, Charlie Ward helps us.
Yeah, the question to him was, Charlie's struggling with his shot. And he just said, yeah, he's only shooting 30%, except he's a type of an athlete that can rise to the occasion and do something big in the big games, and he's done it for us ever since he's been a Knick.
Could be a steal.
That's right. Could be anything. Right. Pass, a rebound, a big basket. Very high on Charlie Ward.
Glenn Rice with the personal foul. Here is Curry, picked up by Harrington on the switch. And the pushing foul called against Harrington. That'll be his second. So Harrington, who came in for Thomas because of 2 personals, now has a pair himself.
You don't worry about him, mainly because he's only going to play limited minutes.
But Thomas is on the bench with 2. And now another Knick foul, and it's against Harrington. So his minutes may be more limited than we think.
I know. That's all silly, because where's the guy going? You're not going anywhere. Right now, with Del Curry in the game, he's going to stretch the defense. 15 years in the league, one of the truly great shooters of all time.
Knicks by 1. Double team on Carter, and that's been the Knicks' MO against him throughout the series. Tapped away by Clark, and here is Curry for 3. Had to rush the shot as the shot clock was winding down.
Oh, nice
Harrington inside, and basket comes and a foul. So Glenn Rice with a tough pass, and Harrington handled it, and a chance for the three-point play.
Excellent pass and recognition by Charlie Ward. Get the ball up ahead in transition. Not only does he get it to Rice, Harrington was pinning his man in the lane, and as he's pinning his man, the pass comes right on the money from Rice.
And Lenny Wilkins bringing in Antonio Davis, who had 2 fouls in the first quarter.
Camby.
And Camby very much alive as opposed to the other games. Here is Sprewell for 2. And Camby again fighting for the loose ball out of bounds. That was Harrington, but the Knicks definitely more active off the glass.
Yeah, well, I'm just happy for Camby, mainly because he's really skying. He looks like his old self in the early going.
Well, he said, I'm ready to play, and he sounded like he meant it in practice yesterday. The Knicks leading by 3. Here is Williams for 2. Davis getting the rebound, and he is fouled as Ward, Harrington, and Sprewell were all in the neighborhood. And the Knick foul goes against Charlie Ward.
One thing you do not want to do is get into the foul penalty early. We only have, we have 10 minutes and 19 seconds to go here, and the Knicks are picking up some cheap fouls.
And they already have 4 team fouls. 1 more in there in the penalty. Lenny Wilkins says we can't be too over-anxious and too much in a hurry. Toronto's got to show a little patience. Davis with the short jumper. And here's Keon Clark, has it knocked away. Keon Clark with the rebound, and the Knicks get it back. The Knicks very opportunistic for the loose balls. Rice, who has hit a three-pointer, look up, misses that time. And here is Curry surveying the action, and a Knick foul called. And let's see if that's against Glenn Rice. And Rice picking up 2 fouls. The Knicks have several players with foul trouble, notably Allen Houston, Kurt Thomas, and Glenn Rice, and they are over the limit, Hubie, with 9:48 to go in the half.
Well, the Toronto game plan, their first issue is getting the ball up the floor quickly. Push the ball, because we know once we get it up to that 3-point line, we're quicker than the Knicks off the dribble, and then when we get them moving, if we shoot and miss, we can beat them to the offensive board.
Now let's see what the Knicks do, trying to go at Antonio Davis, who has 2 fouls, because 3 at this stage would be virtually crippling for the Raptors. Ward guarded by Curry. 10 on the shot clock. Sprewell's been hot tonight with 10. Here's Camby. Foul. And Clark bumping him. Keon Clark with the personal foul. That'll be his second, sending Camby to the line.
Both teams tonight using the cross-court pass out of traps. And the reason for that is that the man on the opposite side of the floor is wide open. Beautiful reaction by Charlie Ward. As the rotated defense came at him, he went right back to the front of the rim.
Missing the first free throw, Jerome Williams, who is a tremendous spark, particularly on defense, and had 8 points as well in game number 4, and was a big boost to the crowd, throwing his t-shirt into the stands when he came into the game, seeing his first action for the Raptors. 1 of 2 for Camby. The Knicks lead by 2.
Alvin Williams has been very quiet. We told you he's the second leading scorer in this series.
Curry missing the 3. And the Knicks coming out with it, leading by 2. And they're obviously trying to push it up tonight, no question.
You got to go in there. That's right.
Here's Rice against Williams. Davis with the rebound. Raptors looking to tie it up with 3 minutes gone by in the second. Camby out to meet Davis. Here's Carter, and he misses. We haven't seen Carter take any shots here in the second quarter, but he comes back with a 3. Vince Carter on the loose ball now has 12 points and his second 3 of the game.
I think you can see in this early going why we brought out the fast break and second chance. That is the reason why the Raptors are out on top right now.
Ward trying to drive for the basket, and now the Raptors trying to push it up. And open is Williams from the corner, and all of a sudden the Raptors opening up a 4-point lead.
With this group out on the floor right now, you have to contend with Del Curry, Vince Carter, and Allen Williams on the perimeter. All 3 guys shoot a high percentage.
Let me check my addition. It's a 3-point lead, 32-29, but we know it'll change before it's over. There's Vince Carter with his second 3 of the game. 8:16 to go in the second. We'll be right back.
All right, here we have the Knicks with Charlie Ward advancing the ball. He passes the ball right here to Rice, but keep an eye on Harrington as he goes down. He seals his man, and Rice just puts the ball right into the painted area. Keep an eye on it now. Always get it up ahead. Force the defense to react. That's a nice play, and then Harrington goes up, not only makes the layup, but the foul. Now, in the early going, we told you the Knicks have won 2 games because they won the battle of the paint. Looking at tonight, Toronto with only 4, the Knicks with 14. But at the one end, Toronto has made the 4 3-point shots.
And they also have 6 second chance points on 4 offensive rebounds, so they're doing what they do well. Allen Houston back in the game, playing with 2 fouls. Othello Harrington also with 2, posting up against Jerome Williams, knocked away by Carter. Carter caused that turnover.
Well, we have 2 Georgetown guys going head-to-head right there. Jerome Williams and Harrington.
Where's John Thompson when we need him? Here is Del Curry in traffic, and Ward very nearly knocked it away.
Somebody's open.
8 on the shot clock. And here is Jerome Williams against Harrington. Well done. A pirouette and a spin move by Jerome Williams, his first points. And the Raptors lead by 5.
Now, Jerome Williams did not play in game 1, but he has made his presence felt in games 2, 3, and 4. On the defensive end, the boards, and just getting a lot of deflections.
Gives them a lot of energy coming off the bench.
Indeed.
Houston blanketed by Williams, steps back and hits. Allen Houston. And the Knicks trailing the Raptors by 3. That ended a 7-0 run by the Raptors, who are trying to win for the second time in Madison Square Garden. Each team has won 1 game on the other club's home court. And Carter, a little fancy out in the backcourt against Houston, puts up the shot, and it ended up fine for Toronto.
Well, he feels that he can just jump over the top of Allen Houston or Sprewell. At the other end, Houston feels that he can abuse Williams in his matchup, down on that baseline area.
Both teams over 50%, and the Knicks have been over 50% in 2 of the 3 games. And Thomas picking up his 3rd foul. That's critical.
Yeah, that is. That's major because he's been in double figures, points and rebound. How about this right here? This is just a great move because he gathered himself together so that he could elevate and get up high.
And a technical foul has been called against Kurt Thomas, who has been called for his 3rd foul and the 3rd offensive foul on the Knicks. So Thomas will go to the bench, and Del Curry on the free throw line makes the technical to give the Raptors a 6-point lead.
Now just keep an eye on Thomas here right now. We told you he's been playing great. He's getting 38 minutes a game, either at the power forward or center position. He's been giving the Knicks the points at 14, 11 rebounds a game in the series.
2 double-doubles in the first 2 games of this series. Here's Davis working against Camby, and Davis with a hook shot, his first points of the game. So Thomas on the bench with 3, and Davis playing with 2, and the Raptors opening up their biggest lead of 8 points now.
The Knicks have got to regroup here, and they're definitely out of whack. The continuity is being abused, and then at the defensive end, Toronto just scoring at will.
And really controlling that defensive board. Sprewell loses it, and the fight for the loose ball, and we'll have a jump ball between Latrell Sprewell and Vince Carter.
In the early going, Dick, you have to love what Toronto's doing. They're holding the Knicks to 1-shot attempt. They're rotating. They're doing a nice job. They're making things happen. And at the offensive end, they're starting now to establish a paint game.
And I think they're showing a lot of poise here, Hubie, playing a deciding game on the road. They've never done that before. And here is Davis out to Alvin Williams, and Williams with the 3-point miss, but the long rebound coming out again to Toronto. They're up by 8, so again another offensive rebound. Nice. Inside Carter from Davis, and Jeff Van Gundy calling the play as the Raptors have opened up a 10-point lead. Jerome Williams with his 4th point of the game. Under 5.5 to go. They've taken the crowd out of this one so far, and we'll have the elbow foul and the offensive foul. Carter with the personal. Carter has scored 7 points in each of the first 2 quarters. Very effective, obviously, from the field. And the Knicks trying to regroup now. They've been outscored 14-2 in the last 3.5 minutes. That's a good way to start. Sprewell to Camby.
See, that's there all the time on the screener roll from the top of the circle, and it has been throughout this series. They are intent on trapping the dribbler, and the screener is open, rolling the lane.
Carter at the point with Sprewell. Double team with Jackson.
There you go. He really got hit. Get it up. You got to get it up.
Here is Rice as the Raptors get back defensively. Rice defended by Del Curry. And a 5-second violation has been called against the Knicks, and Eddie F. Rush was right there counting.
Now, right now, you can see Jeff Van Gundy is going wild. And he's saying that he bumped him and he hit him hard. All right, it should have been a foul call.
Knicks have turned it over 9 times, so it's a carbon copy in game 4. They're shooting over 50%, but with 9 turnovers, they're trailing by 8. Carter off balance, and the rebound by Camby. Approaching the 4-minute mark here in the second quarter. Raptors, Rice rimming the basket on his 3-point attempt.
The Knicks are small now with Rice at the power forward position. Puts a lot of pressure on Camby to take care of the boards.
Curry has his pass knocked away by Houston. He got another turnover. And here's Jackson setting it up. Under 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Clear out. Sprewell against Alvin Williams. Feels he can beat him. Steps back. Front rim. No good. And again, Toronto looking to establish that double-digit lead again.
Well, the old story at playoff time, you've got to take care of your defensive boards first. That's the first priority.
Here is Davis facing the basket. Antonio Davis, only his second point, second field goal, and a timeout called by the Knicks. Hubie, do the Knicks have reason to be a little bit alarmed at this point?
Yeah, first of all, Dick, Toronto is they're abusing him right down inside right now. They're getting anything that they want, and they're getting to the point that the guys are getting easy shot attempts. The double team is not there. At the other end of the floor, when things break down, they shoot and they miss. They have one offensive rebound in the entire first half. Plus, we know they're shooting themselves in the foot again with the high amount of turnovers.
And Kurt Thomas, who they need for a lot of that defense and blue-collar work on the bench with 3 personal fouls. Houston with Rice, Jackson, Campbell, and Sprewell. Again, Sprewell out, being defended by Carter. Now it's Houston and Williams. 6 on the clock. Houston, big basket. At this early stage, that's a big hoop for the Knicks.
Yeah, it is a big hoop, and they also have got to get him involved, Nick, because he's not getting enough catches. And we're talking, like we said at the beginning, the guy came into this game shooting 59% in the series. You've got to get him the catches.
Double team on Carter. Here is Davis. And the offensive rebound attempt by Williams. He's beaten out by Glenn Rice.
Nice.
Swinging the ball on the perimeter. Sprewell. Sprewell driving against Davis, and he lays it in. And Davis wary about picking up his 3rd foul, bringing the Knicks to 6.
Well, anytime you have a mismatch like that, where you have a guy who handles and who has that first step move, you've got to take that big man to the glass.
Off the screen, Carter blocked by Camby out of bounds, and the crowd, quiet minutes ago, now on its feet again.
Well, we've been here so many times over the last couple of years where the Knicks just play in peaks and valleys, and we're seeing it right here in this half. They have the ability to be 10 down and then make a rush. That was an excellent help situation by Camby. He left his man to come over and pick up Carter because Carter likes to catch and throw that fade away.
Knicks calling a timeout. We are at the Mecca, Madison Square Garden on 33rd Street in Manhattan. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest games.
Marcus Camby has played all but 2 minutes. Again, answering the question, Jeff Van Gundy, you going to put a leash on him? No, I'll play him more.
Well, in game 1, after laying out the last 5 games of the year, he came in 44 minutes, 18 rebounds.
Carter going to the basket, and he seemed to be in the air for about 3 seconds when he let go of that.
Well, he changed the release, and it was just beautiful to watch, right on the money. 16
for Carter, who leads the Raptors. Sprewell has 11 to tie the Knicks. Camby going inside and nothing doing, goes out to Houston. Here is Allen Houston with a runner, and it's rejected by Davis, and goaltending is called. Allen Houston, and you just said moments ago they want to get him into the flow. That was only his 4th shot of the first half.
You have to. The man is averaging 22 points for you in this series. Now, right there, he got hit. That was questionable. Depending upon the angle that you were looking at there. From our advantage, I thought that was right about ready to start down.
Houston has 8 points. Again, the Raptors lead by 6. Nearing a minute and a half remaining in the half. Here is Davis backing in against Camby, and that goes off the rim, and the good hustle by Sprewell.
Yeah, Camby took that right off as it was coming off the rim. Camby got his hand up there and deflected it.
So Marcus Camby, a different player tonight than he was in the previous 2 games he played in, and of course he missed 1. Here is the Sprewell taking the shot, now putting it up and hitting over Carter. So Sprewell now with 13 points, and the Knicks coming back on an 8-2 run to within 4 of Toronto, with under a minute to go in the half. And we'll have Allen Houston committing the foul as the Raptors running a baseline move, and Houston now picking up his 3rd. So Houston with 3, and Kurt Thomas, who has been on the bench most of this quarter, with 3 fouls.
Yeah, see, Mike Saunders just went up to Van Gundy because Van Gundy is standing talking to Bennett Salvatore. And right now with the 3, they're bringing Charlie Ward in, take Houston out.
So that's unfortunate for the Knicks as you see Ward coming in for Houston, who's so important, and 3 for 4 from the field. But he goes to the bench with 3. Want to remind you that coming up on the AT&T halftime report, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, and Charles Barkley again joined by the Sonics' Gary Payton. And we'll have first half analysis of tonight's game as only they can do it.
Knicks playing with 2 point guards in there now, Jackson and Ward.
Here's Rice, defended by Jerome Williams. Good defender is Williams. Rice, good offensive player, and a foul before the shot.
Now that's Lenny Wilkins' major move. Every time Rice comes in the game, you'll see Jerome Williams in that head-to-head matchup. He feels that it's a good advantage for him, and also that Rice is going to have a difficult time posting him up.
That was the one foul to give, and now they foul and they're in the penalty. So Childs with his first foul, and the Raptors are in the penalty, and the Sprewell will go to the line. Childs coming off a sensational game, a career playoff high 25 in Game 4 in Toronto Wednesday.
During the course of the year, the Knicks have Houston, Sprewell, Thomas, Jackson all shoot over 80 on the line. And in the series, Sprewell has the ability to get to the foul line, and especially at the end of the game, and make all of his fouls. So it's along with Allen Houston. That's why they're so dangerous in a close game.
4-point Raptor lead, half a minute remaining, and 16 on the shot clock for Toronto. Winner of this game moves on. The loser goes home. Alvin Williams in and out. Jerome Williams with the offensive rebound, and there it is again, and the Knicks are helpless against the offensive rebounding of Toronto.
Well, we tell you that anytime that you play a small unit like this with Rice as your power forward, Sprewell at the small forward, you know that it puts tremendous pressure on Camby to get every rebound.
And the final seconds of the first half, Sprewell with the double team. Here's Ward for 3. And it goes off the rim as the buzzer sounds. The Knicks were trailing by as many as 10 on 2 occasions. Made a run thanks to Sprewell, who has 15 points to lead the Knicks. But the Knicks have much to talk about on their home floor at the end of the first half, sparked by Vince Carter's 16 points. The Raptors lead the Knicks 49-43.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest games.
There's the big one, the Empire State Building, as we come back into New York City for the second half with the series on the line as the Knicks take the court. And they know how critical it is for them as they trail by 6 points to the Toronto Raptors into the second half of the 5th and deciding game. And taking a look now at tonight's American Express leaderboard, once again the Knicks shooting well. They've committed a lot of turnovers, Toronto hitting the threes, but the offensive rebounds into the second chance points really has been a major part of this game, Hubie, and you wonder what the Knicks can do about that.
Well, first you cut down the turnovers. You already have 8. Then you've got to get Allen Houston more than 4 shots. He's 3 for 4. He's on fire in the series. Then the next factor is Camby's a plus tonight. 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks. On the other flip side, Carter, big, 16, but they have 4 guys with 6 points doing a nice job. The difference in the game, 12-0 in second chance points.
Well, it's good to hear what you have to say, but what is the fans' take?
I think Houston's got to get hot. You know, they got to. The refs called like 3 pretty cheap fouls on Houston. I think the reffing's been really poor tonight. I mean, they made a 5-second call on Rice. It was ridiculous.
You nervous, honey? You nervous about how I'm going to handle it? I feel like Jackson wasn't really playing so strong in the first quarter.
Just say they got to put a body on Jerome Williams.
Hey, come on now. I'm on to something here.
Say they got to put a body on. Say it'll look good. Say they got to put a body on Jerome Williams.
You want it like that?
Yeah.
They got to put a body on Jerome Williams.
You listen to that quote?
You know that couple, David Duchovny and Tia Leone, are married, and maybe after the game as they walk to the parking lot, they'll still discuss what the Knicks have to do. But we're underway The Toronto Raptors 49 points, their highest scoring first half of this series, and they have Vince Carter with Alvin Williams, Charles Oakley, Antonio Davis, and Chris Childs at the point. Nowhere to go, and a great thread-the-needle pass to Davis starts it off.
Right on the money. It was beautiful. He saw the movement and laid it right in his hands.
Raptors lead by 8. Here is Houston, who's playing with 3 fouls, as is Kurt Thomas, who is in the lineup as well. Jackson and Sprewell as well, with Camby knocked away. Last touch by Carter with 7 on the shot clock. Let's check in with Dee.
Well, Dick, we're seeing just what concerned Jeff Van Gundy at the half, and that is not taking care of the basketball. Yes, they had the 9 turnovers. I said, is it a matter of concentration? He said, not really. We're not the greatest of passers, but we know what we have to do, and we just got to make it happen. And they just did, Dick.
Mark Jackson from inside the 3-point line. You're absolutely right, Dee, and it is a 51-45 game with a minute gone by.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see if Jackson can get going, because he'll pick up his spirits, and maybe he'll be a little bit more dangerous off the dribble looking for guys.
Jackson shadowing Childs into the corner. They wore the other team's uniform until February. Childs leads it for Williams. Williams for 2, and the foul in the basket. So a 2-point basket. And now let's see the foul call as well. And that's Houston's 4th foul. How unfortunate this is.
Now, that was just good ball movement, and you love it because Alvin Williams did not force the shot. He just took his time, and on the release, and you always tell players, look, rotate out, you challenge the shot, you never foul a jump shooter. That's the cardinal sin of defense.
A double whammy, because a 2-point field goal becomes a 3-point shot, and now Houston picks up his 4th foul. And a 9-point Toronto lead. So this second half hasn't started out all too well for the Knicks.
Well, Jeff Van Gundy is staying with him because he's saying, hey, I'm going to stay with it now and see if we can make a shot. Now, Thomas is all upset right now. He just got floored in a little skirmish under there. He wanted to know where was the foul.
Jackson with his 2nd basket of the 3rd quarter. Davis setting the screen on the pick and roll. Here is Oakley open, hit 2 early, and hits 1 early here in the 3rd. And it's 56-47 Toronto.
Yeah, beautiful ball movement and an excellent screen down to free Oakley.
And the foul against Chris Childs. Childs with his 2nd personal foul.
Well, Dick, the referees are not going to allow you to ride a dribbler defensively with your hand on his hip. They are not going to allow it tonight.
Here's Houston working against Alvin Williams, playing with 4 fouls, and Houston going inside. Pretty move by Allen Houston, who has 10.
Yeah, right now, Jeff Van Gundy, hey, what's the difference? We're going to keep him on the floor. We need him. He's our primary shooter throughout the series, averaging 22. We're going to him.
Throwing caution to the wind.
There you go, Martin.
Has to judge that Houston won't get into a situation like he did moments ago. Sprewell from Jackson hits, and the Knicks trailing by 5. Sprewell with 17, the game's high scorer.
Yeah, you love it. Spree is 2 for 2 in threes, where he's made only 1 in the entire series. He's 2 for 2 there, and he's 7 for 10 from the floor for the game.
And here is Carter, and it's deflected. Now the Knicks playing inspired basketball. Nearly 3 minutes gone by in the 3rd. Knicks trailing by 6 at the half. We're up down by 1 after 1 quarter. Sprewell claiming he was fouled and may have a good case. Childs pushing it up for the Raptors. Here is Williams. Goes right around Houston, and it's blocked. Thomas and Camby were both underneath there.
It's a second acrobatic shot in 2 exchanges here. You don't understand it. They're getting caught underneath bad percentage shots. Well, he's wide open.
And Childs falls down, and they're going to call the blocking foul on Oakley, who's quick to jump on Bennett Salvatore. As Oakley picking up his 2nd personal foul. And you can see right now as the Knicks huddle at the line that they are stern with what their mission is now.
Now right there you see the collision, a defender went down. Now right there you say, well, why is that not a charge? Because his foot, the back of his foot, was inside of the restrained and dotted area. Automatic block foul.
Thomas going to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Had foul trouble early on and was not a factor, and can bring the Knicks now to within 3.
I see you bring out a good point, Dick, and that is Thomas's foul shot attempts. Throughout this series, he's averaging 7 attempts a night, but we realize tonight he's been in trouble and he does not have the minutes on the floor.
Since 1984, when the NBA went to the current 16-team playoff format, the Knicks are 5-0 in first-round matchups going the distance. Only 1-0 at home, and then 84 is a critical year, and later on we'll talk a little bit about it. Meanwhile, 8.5 to go in the third. Carter, Giles behind the line, air ball. Oakley trying to keep control and puts up an impossible shot. How did he get that one off?
That was like a cue ball coming off the sidewalk. I have no idea how he made that shot.
Raptors by 5. Sprewell using Camby as a screen.
Oh, you've got to get that, Kirk. You've got to get that ball.
Hubie urging on Kurt Thomas here, who has had really a terrific year. Here is Davis into Oakley, fouled by Camby on the quick release.
From Toronto's standpoint, a couple of shot attempts here have been poor percentage shots. But I like what the big guys are doing. They're moving well now to get to that offensive glass. And Oakley now in the last 3 possessions has been down in that area twice.
Well, Oakley stepping up, and remember in the last game, and Michelle Carter said, well, you know, some players are not stepping up who have been vocal. Of course, we know Oakley has been vocal about Vince Carter, but tonight, 10 points and 5 rebounds, and even Oakley will say, look, I don't take 30 shots a game. I have to make sure everything's clicking and that the defense is going well. And Raptors very nearly had yet another offensive rebound.
You're absolutely right.
5-point lead.
They need a good shot here, Dick. They need a good percentage shot.
Steal. So Jackson throws it away to Williams. Williams. Oakley. And missed an open shot after Houston had flew by. Knicks not taking care of the ball. And the chant, let's go Knicks. Camby inside, Thomas lays it in. Good play and a good pass by Camby.
Now that was being by design. They had to talk about that at halftime. When he came off into the middle on the screen, it's the first time they allowed him to get there. He wasn't looking to shoot. He was looking for Thomas right on the dotted line in front of the rim.
And looking for Davis inside. Carter now driving to the basket and scores, beating Mark Jackson. So Vince Carter has 18 points.
A great move by Davis. On that dribble to the basket, Davis just sealed off Camby, so Camby could not rotate into a shot-blocking position.
The Toronto Raptors leading 60-55. Vince Carter, who exploded for 32 points in Game 4 on Wednesday night. 18 points. The big difference? No dunks tonight.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
I'd like to show you this play with Mark Jackson and Camby on the side. Now, once again, Toronto sends Jackson down here. Now, you'll see Camby step out, and he'll get the pass. But the key guy is right here, Thomas. Thomas is going to muscle his man, step right on the dotted line, and watch what happens. He pins his man right on his back. Now, this play, they've run this now 5 times. They have 5 scores. Now, you say, why does he step into the dotted line? He steps into the dotted line because now watch the coverage here. See, Davis will stay behind him. You go to that dotted line area and post up. 99 out of 100 times the defender will be on your back.
The Knicks with a 6-point edge and points in the paint. Camby certainly responding tonight. 7 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He had one there and 2 blocks. Houston missing the three. The Raptors with the ball and a 5-point lead. Chris Childs with Oakley, Davis, Alvin Williams, and Vince Carter trying to win their first playoff series, and the turnaround by Carter, who now has 20.
Now, all that movement, Dick, and by bringing the ball back to the top of the circle, just isolated Vince Carter down inside. The double team could not get there.
Jackson looking for Houston on the post up against Williams. 10 on the shot clock. The double team on Allen Houston. Here's Jackson against the bigger Davis, feeding Camby, and he lays it in. Camby now with 9.
See, Jackson has an option there. When you make that diagonal pass, he can take the shot if he wants, but if he puts it down on the floor, there's only one defender in the back. Once he commits, that opens up the man cutting to the rim.
Not about to shoot over Davis, so he did the right thing. Carter with a runner, and out of bounds, last touch by the Knicks. Carter now 8 of 14 from the field for his 20 points, as he is certainly not leveling off after last game's performance. Here is Carter. Camby helping Sprewell with the double team. Pass to Davis, no basket, and the foul before the shot, and it's going to be against Camby. So Camby has 3, so Thomas, Camby each with 3, and Allen Houston playing with 4 fouls.
Well, now as we go from here down the wire, you have to remember Camby gave up 22 minutes in that first half. You can question the stamina thing. Can he go 40 minutes?
And Camby fouling Davis, and you don't want to give up the layups, and that is the cardinal rule in the playoffs. And Camby now with 4 fouls. Antonio Davis picked up 2 early fouls, has scored 6 points, but is the major threat around the glass at both ends.
Well, he's just been having not only a great season, started in the All-Star game, solid. In the playoffs right now, he's just having a great series with the 16 points, the 12 boards, the 2 blocks. He's a consistent 75% foul shooter, and it's nice to see because he's a very hard worker down inside.
And he has 8 rebounds. Rice in for Camby, who goes out with 9 points. You know, the Toronto Raptors also playing on the road here. Only 5 turnovers. That is terrific. None here in the second half in a very pressure-packed 5th and deciding game on the road.
We know that, and the second chance makes the major difference in this game.
And here is Rice driving, and the turnover. Oakley doing a good job on Rice. And here is Childs. And Kurt Thomas fouling Davis down low, and Thomas has picked up 4. So the trio of Thomas, Camby, and Houston all saddled with 4 personal fouls, and we still have 5 minutes remaining in the third.
The reason for the Knicks turnovers is the aggressiveness of the Toronto defense. They have been taking away the passing lane. They charge, they double team the dribblers, and then they cut off the passing lane and their athleticism. They're much quicker than the Knicks. That's the one area. Then at the other, once again, as Davis came down the floor, he turned right around in the painted area and had Thomas on his back, and Thomas tried to fight him.
Nick foul trouble, and Camby, Houston, and Thomas loom large with 4. Meanwhile, Thomas going to the bench, replaced by Osella Harrington. Davis with the free throws. Oakley out of the game for the Raptors, and Jerome Williams replaces him. It is a 9-point lead for the Raptors with 4:53 remaining in this third quarter. So the Knicks have done nothing to get this crowd in the game and trying to lower that margin. Sprewell in the paint. Nothing doing.
Yeah, that was a poor shot. Bad angle shot. Did not allow anyone else to even attempt to get to the glass.
Davis going strong against Harrington, and it drops for him. Davis now with 12 points, and the lead is 11. It is the largest lead of the game for the Toronto Raptors. Davis with 8 of his 12 here in the third.
Now you got to be careful now, because Harrington cannot handle Davis down inside.
And the Knicks lose it again on the entry pass into Harrington. And right now, this crowd very alarmed, as the Knicks should be as well, trailing by 11, as the Raptors have increased their pressure here in this third quarter. And a violation, a lane violation. And a 20-second timeout will be called by the New York Knicks.
Yeah, Lenny Wilkens is questioning the call, mainly because he doesn't understand the call.
First one I've seen all year.
Right.
Back here, the Knicks calling the 22nd timeout. The Raptors leading by 11 in a call, a isolation violation is the term for that signal by Eddie F. Rush.
Well, Lenny Wilkens and his staff up questioned the call, mainly because of the deployment of his players. He couldn't understand the call.
That makes a few of us.
Right now, we need to see the Knicks get some cohesiveness and some good, solid movement. Toronto, their athleticism outstanding in this quarter, really covering and blanketing the Knick attack.
Mark Jackson off the mark. He got into the paint, and a foul against the Raptors, a loose ball foul, and that'll be the second foul against Jerome Williams. Knicks already in the penalty with 3:47 to go. The Raptors have 4 team fouls. And the Knicks will inbound with Latrell Sprewell. He's got Harrington, Rice, Houston, and Jackson. So the isolated violation, 3 players on the weak side above the foul line, is the explanation.
And right now, the Knicks trying to play with Harrington as your center. And you just got to, when you're the Raptors right now, you have to punish them physically down inside.
Williams trying to knock the ball away from Jackson. Plenty of time on the shot clock as Houston misses, and the Knicks are just missing from everywhere.
Yeah, well, see, they're so small. We said at halftime, only 1 second shot attempt. No different this half.
But Davis misses a layup after up and under, and the Knicks down by 11, trying to get first into single digits. Their playoff hopes hanging in the balance here in Game 5 after taking a 2-1 lead in the series, winning in Toronto on Sunday. And here is Sprewell coming in, offensive foul, and a good call by Bennett Salvatore as Sprewell came in with his shoulder.
Yeah, Alvin Williams was right there, and as he makes the spin, watch as he makes the spin, Alvin Williams, he anticipates. There it is. Excellent defense. We're seeing them just suffocate the Knicks offensive display here.
And Thomas coming back in because there's no time to dally here. Harrington is out. You got to go with your players. So Thomas with 4 in there. So is Allen Houston.
Well, they need a presence. They need a defensive presence as well as an offensive presence.
Here is Childs with the open jumper. Chris Childs has 8 points and a 13-point lead. 6 assists for Childs. So Childs and Oakley in particular have to be loving it right now.
Well, everyone is contributing, Dick. That's the thing that you have to. Another good call. That was a very good call.
As Jerome Williams knocked to the floor
by Allen Houston.
And Houston has now picked up his 5th personal foul. And at this point, Jeff Van Gundy has to make sure the Knicks don't unravel. Crowd trying to get the Knicks in. They need something. Waving the white flags with under 2.5 to go in the third. Antonio Davis with the fall away. Rebound by Rice. Knicks are shooting 55%, but it's the same old story.
13 turnovers and 15-0 in second chance points. The athleticism of Toronto, they've been cutting down all of the lanes as guys are coming off of screens, doing a terrific defensive job.
4 on the shot clock. Rice. And it drops for him. Rice now with his 2nd field goal of the game, and it's an 11-point.
Yeah, he needed that, Dick, and the Knicks needed it. Now let's just see if this 5-man group out here now can hold him to 1 shot attempt.
Childs off the mark, but they don't. And there's the offensive rebound by Davis. In traffic, so the Knicks again cannot control their defensive board. Here is Childs with the drive and the runner, and the tip control. Thomas has it.
You got to get it out. No. Right there, that was a little flop by Antonio Davis.
Charlie Ward, the point guard, into Thomas. The turnaround doesn't work. And right now, the Knicks are playing as if every possession, and we're still in the third quarter, is crucial.
Well, of course. I mean, right now, they need that run, that famous New York run. 10 games this year, they were down by 10-plus points at home, and they came back and won the game.
One time, they were down by 21 to the Miami Heat in one. And now, the offensive foul called against Vince Carter. That is his third foul.
Excellent defense. One-on-one play.
Under 1 minute remaining in the third quarter, the Toronto Raptors have won every quarter of this game. Del Curry, the dead-eye three-point shooter, into the game for Toronto. 15 on the shot clock for the Knicks. Here is Sprewell. Sprewell tonight with 17, only 2 here in the third quarter, though. Double team. Rice short on the 3. Harrington
got to shoot it.
Puts it up, and it's blocked, and the shot clock expires. That is the 15th Knick turnover.
Every time that they throw the ball into Sprewell down in the left side area now, they wait. Toronto's defense wait. As soon as he puts it on the floor, they are coming from the top of the circle in a hard double team, forcing him to give up the ball. Now, the Knicks are doing a nice job in ball reversal, but you have to shoot a high percentage in threes, and they're not.
The winner of this game will advance to the Eastern semifinals against the Philadelphia 76ers, who have the best record in the Eastern Conference. That series will start Sunday on NBC. Toronto swept by the Knicks in 3 last year. Different story this time. 8 on the shot clock. Alvin Williams, trapped by Ward and Thomas, finds an open space. Again, the loose ball, and again, Toronto gets the chance. And the final seconds being ticked off. There's still enough time. Charlie Ward at the buzzer. It doesn't go. And the Knicks have their work cut out for them in the fourth quarter at home, because the Toronto Raptors have taken everything the Knicks have had to offer on the road and have the advantage going into the fourth quarter. Knicks held to just 16 points because of Toronto's terrific defense. And after 3, it's the Raptors 70, the Knicks 59.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest games.
Sprewell with Rice, Camby, Thomas, and Ward. Forget about foul trouble. You've got to use your best players. 6 on the shot clock. Here is Glenn Rice against Davis. Knocked away. And another fine defensive play by the Raptors. They have dominated this game.
Yeah, you got to give them credit. The double team guys are causing the deflections, or they steal the pass on the diagonal pass out of the double team.
Camby fouling Jerome Williams. If the foul is against Camby, we'll wait for the official call in the opening moments. And it is against Thomas, not Camby. So Thomas has 5 fouls. Camby with 4. And Allen Houston is playing with 5. So the choices are dwindling for Jeff Van Gundy here. Williams tonight with 6 points off the bench. But as usual, stellar defensive effort.
Well, he makes it happen. He's 6'9", long arms, good upper body strength. He loves contact, so he loves smacking your guy around that he's matched up with. And let's face it, Rice, we said at the top of the show, is averaging 14 points a game. Well, Rice is limited tonight. This guy's all over him. And every time that Rice comes in, they bring in Jerome Williams to match up with him.
Williams with only 1 free throw, 71-59. The Raptors. Knicks looking to make a run, and they've got to make it early here to make this a game down the stretch. Here is Sprewell driving in and getting the basket. Sprewell has 19 to lead the Knicks.
Anytime that the Knicks have run a screen and roll, the roll guy's been open, or a screen and pop up. They get the advantage 4 against 3, and I don't know why they've gone away from it. They're 5 for 5.
Alvin Williams off the front rim. So the Knicks looking for a run here. Ward finding Camby. And the crowd on its
his feet, looking for the spark. Marcus Camby with 11 points, really coming out of it tonight after being lethargic for understandable reasons prior to this.
Well, we always say this about the Knicks. They just do not get enough points in the transition game, mainly because they are not looking for it. But tonight here, you're down big, you've got to make the throw, and you've got to look up ahead. And this is a nice eye contact with Charlie Ward and Camby as the trailer.
And Jerome Williams with the foul on top of that, and Camby going to the line. And the missed free throw. Knicks need them all from here on in, trailing by 8 points. So let's see how Toronto responds as the Knicks poised to make a run here.
Main thing right now is you're within striking distance. Just cut down. Just try to cut down and hold them to that one shot attempt.
Go back in on the repost to Davis. Giles in the lane. Here's Vince Carter. He was open and hits. 22 for Vince Carter. Again, having a big game, his second in a row.
I like Vince action tonight, just like in Game 4. Anytime this man leaves him to help out, he's moving, he's getting the passing lane, and he's doing something with it.
Rice on the post-up. Inside. The basket counts. Thomas gets the lay-in and will go to the line.
That is the Knicks' fourth offensive rebound of this game.
And recognized by Donald Trump in the first row of that fact. I want you to know that.
Now just keep an eye to the top of the screen. See, once they love the trap in the lane. Thomas has been moving, and you like to see that in your big man. When your guy leaves you, get to the rim.
Jerome Williams picking up his second foul in the last couple of minutes, his fourth. But he remains in the game. Charles Oakley checking in, replacing Del Curry. So the Raptors now with Williams, Oakley, along with Carter, Childs, and Davis. They have a big team in there. Nearly 2 minutes gone by here in this fourth quarter. Thomas's three-point play brings the Knicks to within 7. Trapped on Childs, who throws it away. Off the hands of Oakley, who gives a long stare to his former teammate in New York.
Yeah, see, Rice is matched up with Oakley. They're using Rice to trap the dribbler at half court. They don't care if Oakley catches the ball. They feel like they can rotate in time because you know Oakley's not going to attack the basket with the dribble.
Sprewell lost the ball on the dribble, and Oakley loses it again. So the Raptors have turned it over. We have had 3 turnovers in the last 3 times down the court for both teams.
Interesting thing, you just can't stand on a dime. When a guy passes the ball, sure, it's off his mark, but will you please make an attempt to get it?
And there is Ward trying to get it to Camby, and it's picked off again. So the Knicks with an opportunity and shooting themselves in the foot with their own sloppiness. Carter with a tough pass to Oakley, stolen by Sprewell.
Gotta make it happen here.
Sprewell against Childs, and Ward
don't go away from the rim.
And the Knicks had an opportunity. Sprewell makes up with it for the 3, but they had an easy fast break chance.
They did. They had an easy chance to get to. They lucked out by putting it out because Sprewell is determined right now that he's going to carry the Knicks down the line.
And maybe the Knicks need a little bit of luck now as the Raptors want to talk it over. The crowd is back in. The Knicks, who are down by as many as 13, trail by 4 now.
Just keep an eye on this steal. Now Sprewell right now, he just couldn't turn the defender around. Keep an eye, there it is. There's the steal. Now as he's coming down, he's looking. He's I'm going to go all the way. Now Charlie Ward, he came back in. Beautiful movement by Sprewell. He was going to chase that ball down because he wanted to touch.
Sprewell with 22 points and 2 threes. Carter with 22 points and 2 threes. Pretty good matchup.
They're back.
Yes, they are. Knicks on a 10-2 run in the last 2.5 minutes, cutting the lead to 4. And the Knicks, who are a perfect 5-0 since they've gone to the 16-team format, 4-0 on the road, and back in '84, Hubie remembers in Detroit one of the classic games at Joe Louis Arena, 127-123 in overtime over Detroit.
That was a great win for us. They could not play in the Silverdome because they had an event scheduled there, so we played on a neutral court. Joe Louis Arena, 22,000, hot as Hades in there that night. And Bernard King once again went for over 45 with a splint on his middle finger on both hands.
That was a great win for you and the Knicks at that time, and we were just hot even watching it on television. We weren't even in the building at the time.
And Isaiah Thomas came and scored 16 points in the fourth quarter in 1 minute 38 seconds.
That's all?
I know. I mean, it was showtime all over the place.
Knicks trying to pull out showtime here, trailing by 4.
Plenty of time.
With 10 on the shot clock. Here's Sprewell. And the rebound taken down by Oakley.
Oh, steal.
And underneath, stolen by Thomas.
Yes, there you go.
And it's 73-71 now, and the Knicks back in the game. And this was Toronto's worst nightmare, seeing the crowd back in here in the fourth.
This is a big test. You're on the road. You've got to go to your meat and potato guys and make it happen here now. They've got to get Vince into situations where he can get a high percentage.
They lost it, Hubie.
Yeah.
Lost, dribbled off.
You always tell players, pick the ball up. Don't be relying on the referee. Pick the ball up. 2 guys were there, and either guy could have gotten that basketball.
But the Raptors still lead. It's the Knicks trailing by 2 with plenty of time to go in the fourth. And what a rally this has been. Here is Charlie Ward for 3. And the crowd with a collective sigh as it went off the rim.
And they get Camby there.
Camby now with his 5th foul. So Thomas, Camby, and Allen Houston all with 5 fouls. And the question is, can the Knicks really hang in there with 3 of their stars with 5?
Yeah, well, of course, Jeff Van Gundy is shooting the works here right now. He's not taking anyone out. He's staying with Camby. That was just a silly foul. You're in the back court. Just get back down the floor because you knew you had 4.
Here's Carter, defended by Sprewell. And Oakley leaves it for Childs. Camby with the rebound. So Marcus Camby now with 8 off the glass. Knicks looking to at least tie it up on this possession. Charlie Ward with Camby setting the screen on the outside. Childs stays with Ward. 7 on the shot clock. Ward scoops it up and it doesn't go.
Sorry, it was a good attempt. He had a high percentage look there.
Carter for 3. And that's a rally breaker if there ever was one. Vince Carter now with 25 with his 3rd three-pointer. And the crowd quiets again as Toronto leads by 5.
See, he wanted the ball. He popped out, he called for the ball. He wanted the ball, and he just shot that with ease.
Those guys have fun for sure, and there'll be more of the same on Inside the NBA following the game presented by Hyundai. As they'll dissect this game, talk about what's coming up in the playoffs with Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Gary Payton.
Right now, the Knicks are small. They brought Houston back in now. Rice is at the power forward position.
Ward for 3. He's got it. Charlie Ward with his first three-pointer, and the Knicks trailing by 2.
Big test right now for Toronto. You got to get your main man involved. And you've got to be able to free him up in areas where he can do some damage.
Vince Carter runs into a double team and the blocking foul. And if it's Camby, it'll be 6.
That'll be 6.
He's out. Marcus Camby fouling out of the game. And his opinion that Vince Carter charged into him. But Camby is disqualified with 6:15 to go, having scored 11.
See, keep an eye on this. You'll see Camby come from the left. See right there, Vince. See, he was moving on a split. Now, you look at that, you're a Knick fan, you're saying, Camby was there, and he's moving his feet. He's moving his feet, he's taking it. Vince had no place to go. You're a Toronto fan, you're saying, hey, he avoided that by that incredible athletic step that he just did, and they caught Camby with the leg.
And he's getting an ovation from the fans who know how tough an ordeal it has been for him in the last 2 weeks with the hostage crisis involving his mother and 2 sisters. Was in a funk for a couple of days, but came out big with 11 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks tonight. And there is a 2-point basket by Alvin Williams following Camby's foul out, and the Raptors are up by 4.
See, Alvin Williams just stays within the flow, and he'll only take shots if he's wide open.
Sprewell, who has 22 in the game,
Wasting a lot of time here.
9 on the shot clock, and it's Childs defending Sprewell, who's isolated. Sprewell hitting the jumper. 24.
You can't go for the flop, Nick. You can't go for the flop. This is the playoff. Don't be asking. Don't be begging. The main thing right now is to stay tough and get right up in there and don't make kids shoot up over the top of you.
Does it get any more intense than this?
Oh, this is great.
A deciding game with nearly 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and the game on the line.
Look,
how about Alvin Williams with 5 straight points?
How about Alvin Williams in this series shooting over 46 and threes? The young man has just been terrific, and he's made big baskets time and time again.
23 points in game 2, but Sprewell coming back with a pair of his own, and the Knicks hanging in there, trailing by 3. Sprewell with 26.
One of the very few times that Spree has been able to take it all the way.
And this has been his best scoring game of the series.
Yeah, he's played great all night.
Childs losing it inside, and last touch by the Knicks with 9 on the shot clock.
Right now, you cannot be faint of heart from now to the end of this game. You're talking 4:45, and this decides everything. You've got to understand it's going to be under duress. You're going to be under duress no matter what. Take the hits and react.
22nd timeout called by Lenny Wilkens, who has certainly been there before, and a low-key coach who taking over the Raptors here, and they are 4:45 away from a win with a slim lead.
I like the timeout right now. Lenny's trying to maximize this possession. He has 9 seconds, and he wanted to go with a set play here to make sure that he gets a high percentage shot. You're dealing a three-point deal here. The building's back in the game. You've got to be strong. Your coaching decisions have got to be that you can get your guys the high percentage shots. The Carters, Davis, and then also Alvin Williams, even if it's on a ball rotation.
Neither team has a foul to give with 4:45 remaining. Each team has 2 full timeouts to go. So let's see the play that Lenny Wilkens draws up here as the lead is 3 for the Raptors. Carter missing the 2, and the rebound by Kurt Thomas, playing with 5 fouls, as is Allen Houston after Marcus Camby fouled out.
I'm kind of surprised he shot that because he still had a lot of time.
Sprewell lost the ball momentarily, still has time on the clock, misses the 3. He had time.
Yes, he did. Everyone's a little anxious. There's a ton of pressure on every play right now.
Raptors leading 81-78. At stake, advancing to the Eastern semifinals. And here is Alvin Williams.
There you go. Someone else other than the big guys have got to board. That's the reason why they had a couple of wins, because their guards came in with big rebounding numbers.
That was Ward, and here's the screen and spot up. Thomas off the glass.
I'm telling you, Dick, it's been there all night. Okay, it's been there all night. Every time they are now 6 for 7 in running it.
Thomas with 15 points and 10 rebounds despite foul trouble all night tonight. And there is Childs with the fake on Ward, and he hits. And again, the Raptors up by 3 with under 3.5 to play in the 4th.
That was such a big shot by Childs. A beautiful ball fake. He stepped up in, mainly because he has not had a number of shot attempts tonight.
Rice way off the mark in his attempt, but Sprewell misses the lay-in. It did not fall for Sprewell, who hustled for the offensive rebound.
Right now, just relax. Relax, Toronto. Get the big fella right there in this game.
Here's Davis, defended by Thomas, playing with 5 personals. And the fall away, and Davis with a clutch basket. 5-point Toronto lead with under 3 minutes to go.
You always like to watch a team when they know who they should be going to. And whether it is Carter or whether it is Davis. 2 high percentage guys, okay, at this time in the game.
Houston with 10 on the shot clock against Alvin Williams, and the bump foul against Williams. And Houston will go to the line as both teams are in the penalty. Jeff Van Gundy was wary of the Raptors well before the season came to an end as a first-round matchup. He knew how talented they were and how strong they were off the boards, and they have lived up to his concern. Timeout with Toronto up by 5.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest games.
The guy who's on fire for you right now is Sprewell. Allen Houston only 1 for 3 this half.
Sprewell basket and a foul. Latrell Sprewell, and you said it a few moments ago, it looks like he's taking it into his own hands to bring the Knicks home from behind.
Oh, you can see, you can just read it in his eyes and in his actions. He's attacking, he's looking. If it's not there, he'll pass it up. Now just watch right here as he finishes with his left hand. If he would have tried with his right hand, that ball would have been blocked.
It was Sprewell who expressed the anger and being upset after looking at the tape of Game 4, and he has delivered 29 points. It is a 2-point Toronto lead with 2:20 remaining and 14 in the shot clock in regulation.
Yeah, you got to get Vincent on. Oh, bad pass. See, Giles anticipated him staying, and what happened? Carter's been moving all night long. Carter busts to the lane that time.
Winding down to 2 minutes to go in regulation. The Knicks looking to at least tie it on this possession. 2 minutes to go. Sprewell, and he can't do it. So the Raptors get the ball with under 2 minutes to go, still with the 2-point lead.
They're up here. They're faking the trap. The main thing here is what you want to do is just run time here.
Here is Carter stepping inside the line and missing, and rebound. Antonio Davis and a new clock.
Back it out.
With 1:35 to go. So the Raptors again with the offensive rebound to break the Knicks. 14 on the shot clock. Carter with a runner. And Carter gets his own rebound and scores. And if the Knicks don't come back and win, they can point to the 2 offensive rebounds by the Raptors on this possession and Carter's basket to open up a 4-point lead. 1:19 to go, and the Knicks calling a timeout.
Now Vince Carter just made a great play. When he took that ball off the dribble and then he elevated and shot and he missed. Just watch him now. Keep as he keeps coming. See, he kept right on coming. Why? No block out. No one even touched him. He just came right to the rim and made it happen.
Story with 1:19 to go. The Raptors with 2 full timeouts. The Knicks with 1. And the Knicks still with 1 foul to give. Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, D. Lynham. And Lenny Wilkins' team a minute and 19 away from beating the Knicks and moving on to face the Philadelphia 76ers.
We have a lot of time here right now with 1:19 to go. And you can see the critical thing here is Toronto, 2 full timeouts, New York 1. New York has 1 foul to give. Now we know that Sprewell has been hot. Also during this period of time, we know that Allen Houston is only 1 for 3 in the second half.
Sprewell with 29 leads the Knicks. Carter with 27 tops the Raptors. Every possession pivotal. Here is Glenn Rice missing the 2-point attempt and the rebound by Davis.
Great rebound and way to get it out.
4 times the Knicks have closed the margin to 2. Once they got it to 1, they can't get even and now trail by 4 with under a minute remaining.
Big thing right now, just run your clock. Get a nice opportunity here. Just run the clock.
Oh, Williams falls down, recovered by Carter with 3 on the shot clock. Here is Williams, and he hits it, and that may do it. Alvin Williams, who has been sensational with 7 points here in the 4th quarter, and the Raptors lead by 6. And the turnover
right through Houston's hand.
And the Toronto Raptors are headed for victory now, leading by 6. And the look on the faces of the New York Knicks trying to come back and win it, but Toronto on the verge of beating the Knicks for the 2nd time at the Garden in this series.
Now, think of the last 3 possessions. Carter, loose ball, he gets it to Williams, they make the field goal. Then they had another situation right here where you also had another opportunity to get a loose ball, boom, field goal. So you got to give Toronto a lot of credit. They're making things happen. Even when they have adversity, they convert the adversity into a score.
Rick Brunson coming into the game for the New York Knicks. The Raptors, one of 4 teams to improve their winning percentage in each of the last 3 years, with Philadelphia, Dallas, and Denver the other 3. And the Raptors will call a timeout. Each team will have 1 left. But time running out, and it looks very good right now for the men from Canada.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest games.
The Knicks trailed 85-83, and then Carter on the second offensive rebound in the sequence got a basket, and then Alvin Williams' jump shot at the buzzer put him up by 6.
Now, right now, Toronto, your situation right now is the big key. You want to run as much time as possible. The Knicks are going to go for the steal, and then they're going to go for the foul.
Williams and Travis Knight into the game as well, and a foul is called as Ward and Alvin Williams collide. So Alvin Williams will go to the free throw line with 32.1 seconds remaining. So the free throw's critical the rest of the way for the Raptors. Alvin Williams 5 for 5 tonight.
The thing right now, the Knicks is staying small. After this first foul shot, they'll be bringing in Houston or Rice and Thomas.
Alvin Williams coming up big in the fourth quarter, will be looking for his 18th point, and there is the trio that you just mentioned.
Well, it'll be interesting to see right now if they shoot and miss, whether the Knicks advance it quickly, if they shoot and make, whether the Knicks call a timeout, or whether they just inbound it and go. Are they going to inbound it and go and save the one timeout?
3-possession game for the Knicks, who are down 91-83, and Sprewell is fouled by Alvin Williams.
The one thing you did not want to do. You did not want to foul in that situation because, A, it stops the clock, and now you put the Knicks on the foul line to shoot.
So Alvin Williams, who has had a big fourth quarter with a bit of a mental lapse there, and Sprewell is on the line with 28 seconds on the clock. Sprewell looking for his 30th point of the game. And it just may not be in the cards for the New York Knicks, who, since they went to the 16-team playoff format, 5-0 in deciding first-round games. Now the Knicks get the ball,
need threes now,
and Houston will fire a 3 and miss. Sprewell stepping behind the line. Rice will try a 3 and miss. Thomas out to Sprewell, steps behind the line and misses the 3, and it's tapped back to Houston, and he hits the 3, but it's a case of too little too late for the New York Knicks, and Oakley is fouled by Sprewell with 5.2 seconds remaining.
The Knicks season will come right back to the 2 possessions with inside of the last 3 minutes there. And it was all at the Toronto end of the floor. They had an opportunity to pick up 2 loose balls that Toronto beat them to the ball and then converted it as the clock was down into 2 field goals.
Davis got the offensive rebound first, and then Carter the second time, and he hit the basket, and that broke the Knicks back. And the winning team in each game of this series scored at least 90 points, with Toronto getting 100 in game number 4. And the Knicks at one point had a 2-1 series lead, winning in Toronto on Sunday, and things looked rosy for them. But the Toronto Raptors responding with 2 big wins against the experienced Knicks playoff team.
Well, it's interesting. Dallas won on the road last night. Toronto wins on the road tonight.
Great point, Hubie. And the game is over. The Toronto Raptors coming in, and in only their second year making the playoffs, move along and will face the Philadelphia 76ers. So the Raptors, swept a year ago by the Knicks, turn the tables this time and win the series 3-2 on the enemy court. A tremendous victory for the Toronto Raptors, and now will go against the Philadelphia 76ers, a team they beat 3 out of 4 times in the regular season. So the final score here at the Garden, the Toronto Raptors advance to the second round, and the Knicks go home. They're eliminated. The final score 93-89. Vince Carter leading the Raptors with 27 points. Alvin Williams with a big fourth quarter had 18, and a double-double once again for Antonio Davis. Despite early foul trouble, had 14 points and 12 rebounds. Latrell Sprewell leading the Knicks with 29, a valiant effort for him, trying to get the team back in that fourth quarter. but the obstacle was just too big for the Knicks tonight. Let's send it out to D-Liner.
All right, well, obviously there's a number of people who are quite happy here. Vince Carter among them. Chris Childs. Vince, the way this game was won was so similar to the way Game 4 was won, and that was team effort and doing all the little things. Can this continue the way this has happened the last?
I hope so. That's what I've been saying. You know, I understand everybody likes the superstar to step up, and I agree. Don't get me wrong. But right now, it's a team game. It's a team effort. We play together as a team. We've won as a team, and I'm going to stick with it. They made a run. You guys kept your composure. Was there ever any doubt, ever any feeling in that huddle that, oh, maybe it's slipping away? Well, you know, I'm a believer. I can't get nervous. This is what it's all about. We know it's Game 5. It's going to be a lot of runs. A lot of teams laying it all on the line. So, yeah, we knew they're going to make a run, but it's important for us, Toronto Raptors, to make our own run and maintain leads. And, you know, that's one thing we got to work on is keeping our leads. But right now, we're going to the second round. All right, I'm going to talk to a couple of your teammates as well. Let's see. Chris Childs and Alvin Williams, who on a number of occasions, you the other night, you didn't have as many shots tonight. Alvin making some shots. But, Chris, how satisfying to do this considering where you were before February?
I mean, this is a big effort by the whole entire team. You know, once the trade happened, I wouldn't have guessed in a million years that we would have played this team, but it didn't really matter. It was bitterness at first, but this is a business, and these guys are special. You know, we go out, we play hard, we have fun, and to be moving on, it's a great feeling. It's a huge thing for the franchise because it's the first time ever, and you come from a place where hockey is huge. How do you think this will be received in Toronto? Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. The city has been behind us 110%, and we came into the series. We knew if we played together, we played as hard as we could, we would come out on top. We did. And these guys came up big. Alvin, I mean, I played against him a lot, but I never knew he was that good. He's going to be a great player in this league. Chris, thanks for your time. Good luck in that next round. Alvin, Chris just paying you a high compliment, and he didn't know you were this good, but did you know you were this good?
I just try to play, and I know the things that I do. I know I've always been able to do them, and Coach Wilkins really helped me out. Mark Jackson, Muggsy Bogues, all those guys helped me out coming to this point, you know, and I just thank them all. Tonight there was such composure about you guys. When people talked about the Knicks who had the playoff experience, where did it come from? Where did it start? We just played hard, and we stayed focused. The veterans on our team allowed us to stay focused, made all the young guys, you know, just really stay focused, and we just played hard, and we stuck together today.